Hello everyone, I'm back here with my next video of WOW session, that is Words of Wisdom. And today I'm here with Stephen Hawking, an inspiration of many the great scientists and physicists of the globe. Stephen William Hawking was an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author who was Director of Research at the Centre for Theoretical Cosmology at University of Cambridge at the time of his death. He was the Lucasian Professor of Mathematics at the University of Cambridge between 1979 and 2009. Hawking was born in Oxford into a family of doctors. Hawking began his university education at the University College, Oxford in October 1959 at the age of 17, where he received a first-class BA honours degree in physics. He began his graduate work at Trinity Hall, Cambridge in October 1962, where he obtained his PhD degree in applied mathematics and theoretical physics, specializing in general relativity and cosmology in March 1966. Here's a picture of Stephen and his mother. During this period in 1963, Hawking was diagnosed with an early onset, slow progressing form of motor neuron disease, also known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, that is ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, that gradually paralyzed him over the decades. After the loss of his speech, he was able to communicate through a speech generating device, initially through use of a handheld switch and eventually by using a single cheek muscle. With this new system that we can see on the picture, Hawking was able to communicate at a rate of 15 words per minute. His graduate assistant at the time then devised a switching device called the cheek switch. Attached to his glasses, it could detect via a low infrared beam when Hawking tensed his cheek muscle. Just see the technology. We have some wonderful words by Stephen Hawking, which I have, put in between. He also said, when one's expectations are reduced to zero, one really appreciates everything one does have. So we should stop expecting from people. Let us see Hawking's scientific works. Hawking's scientific works included a collaboration with Roger Penrose on gravitational singularity theorems in the framework of general relativity and the theoretical prediction that black holes emit radiations, often called Hawking radiation. Initially, Hawking radiation was controversial. By the late 1970s and the following the publication of further research, the discovery was widely accepted as a significant breakthrough in theoretical physics. Hawking was the first to set out a theory of cosmology explained by a union of general theory of relativity and quantum mechanics. He was a vigorous supporter of many worlds' interpretation of quantum mechanics. Now here we can see Stephen's experiencing zero gravity. We'll read about it in the next slide. I have been wheelchair bound. He used to say, I have been wheelchair bound for almost 4 decades, that is 40 years, and the chance to float free in the zero gravitation will be wonderful, Hawking told a pre-flight news conference. The acclaimed cosmologist and best-selling author of A Brief History of Time, who has posited theories to help explain black holes and other celestial phenomena lost his ability for natural speech after a tracheotomy that followed a bout of pneumonia in 1985. He speaks with the aid of computer-controlled voice synthesizer. So this is the reason why that cheek switch was made for him, especially by his friend. Hawking said in an interview on Wednesday that he feared that the human race did not have a future if it did not go into space. I therefore want to encourage public interest in space. A zero gravity flight is the first step towards space travel, he said. Hawking achieved a commercial success with several works of popular science in which he discussed his theories and cosmology in general. His book, A Brief History of Time, appeared on the Sunday Times bestseller list for a record-breaking 237 weeks. Hawking was a Fellow of Royal Society, a lifetime member of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences, and a recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the United States. In 2002, Hawking was ranked number 25 in the BBC's poll of the 100 greatest Britons. And here we can see Barack Obama putting a medal, rewarding a medal around his neck. Stephen Hawking used to say, "I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die. I have so much I want to do first." Just see, in spite of he being totally handicapped, motor neuron disease is actually very serious, which stops your movement absolutely. Still, there was such a positive attitude and optimism in him. We should really take inspiration from him. He was a wild wheelchair driver. This is a very nice episode that I read and I have put it here. Hawking began using crutches after his diagnosis in the 60s and resisted transitioning to a wheelchair. Crutches are those that the handicapped people who are not able to walk, they use on both sides under their arms. They have those sticks and that helps for walking. But once he started, because in the beginning he didn't want to be bound on the wheelchair, but once he started, he was reportedly a pretty wild driver of a wheelchair. There's an apocryphal story out there. I don't know if it's true. This story is there. And Christian M. Larson says, he's a professor of astronomy, and he says that he came to know that he actually ran over Prince Charles' toes once, with his wheelchair. He definitely liked to dance in his wheelchair on the dance floor. I remember seeing him whiz through the conferences in his wheelchair. After one incident where he crashed his wheelchair and broke his hip, he also joked about being a bad driver. He made lots of scientific bets, even though he kept losing them. Let us see those bets. Hawking is known for his theoretical contributions to science, but like any scientist, he didn't always get everything right the first time, and he had a reputation for placing and losing bets on scientific concepts. In 1975, he put a bet, he bet physicist Kip Thorne a penthouse subscription that an astronomical object known as Cygnus X1 was not a black hole. Later, he also bet someone an encyclopedia over Hawking's claim that information gets lost in black holes, and wagered $100 that no one would ever discover the Higgs boson. Eventually, he lost all three of these bets. Stephens also used to say, people who show off their knowledge, who boast about their IQ, are losers. Some of his scientific theories were controversial at first. Let us read about them. Among his first theoretical discoveries was his prediction that black holes should radiate, Larson says. But when he first came up with this idea and presented it to his colleagues, they thought it was all rubbish. However, once his calculations for this theory went through scientific peer review, they found that yes, that is what the laws of physics as we understand them predict. She says that black holes, under the right circumstances, should evaporate, should radiate. This scientific concept is now known as Hawking radiation and remains one of his biggest contributions to cosmology. So when you grow up, do read about these concepts of physics and how his work was such a big contribution in the field of science and physics. He used to say, quiet people have the loudest minds, so you don't need to speak much. Observe and learn and listen more. He wrote 5 children's books with his daughter Lucy. We can see his daughter Lucy's picture here. In addition to his many books for adults, Hawking wrote several children's books with his daughter Lucy that combine science and adventure. These books all focus on a young boy named George, who learns about the universe by traveling around it. In the most recent one, George and the Blue Moon, George enters a Mars training program, fighting for survival in what feels like the Hunger Games set on the Red Planet, according to Hawking's own description. Artificial intelligence made him uneasy. Hawking believed that developing better technology was imperative for human survival. But he was also very concerned about the pursuit of artificial intelligence or AI. Alongside the benefits, AI will also bring dangers like powerful autonomous weapons or new ways for the few to oppress the many. He said in 2014 at the launch for the Center for the Future of Intelligence at Cambridge University. In the future, AI could develop a will of its own, a will that is in conflict with ours. He continued, the rise of powerful AI will be either the best or the worst thing ever to happen to humanity. We do not yet know which. So he did not like the AI concept. That made him feel very uneasy. Stephen used to say, however bad life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. While there is life, there is hope. Just seize. He was full of optimism. Death of Stephen Hawking. British physicist Stephen Hawking has died peacefully in his sleep and at the age of 76, according to a family spokesperson. Hawking died in his sleep at his home in Cambridge on the 14th of March 2018. He used to say, however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. In addition to what I have here, when I was in school, I had read about him that when he was born, the doctors had told the mother that he was abnormal and it would be a very difficult life for the parents. But the mother did not stop. She kept working on Stephen with extra care, extra efforts, extra compassion. She was able to make Stephen Hawking the person we know who he is. Great contribution of his mother. And it is also said that when he was a small baby, he used to, keep sitting on the wheelchair and watch his siblings playing all around him. It was once when he got attracted towards the colors of his sister, the crayon colors of his sister, and he picked a color up with the help of his fingers of his feet and tried to write alphabets on a piece of paper with his feet. This really encouraged Stephen's mother, who started, working much, much more for Stephen. And this is how he lived for 76 years and died as a great man. Stephen Hawking's last words. As you all know, some words or speech or quotations we are with here with words of wisdom, we need to know, the special things that great personalities have told us. So let's read. I didn't do my scientific work in the hope of winning prizes and medals. I did it because I wanted to understand the universe. There's nothing like the thrill when you discover something no one knew before. So do something new. I hope I will be remembered for my work on black holes and the origin of the universe and not for the things like appearing on The Simpsons. It has been a glorious time to be alive and doing research in theoretical physics. Our picture of the universe has changed a great deal in last 50 years, and I am happy if I have made a small contribution. The fact that we humans, who are ourselves mere collections of fundamental particles of nature, have been able to come this close to an understanding of the laws governing us in our universe is a great triumph. I want to share my excitement and enthusiasm about this quest. So remember to look at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. There are no limits to the human spirit. I believe what makes us unique is transcending our limits. I lost my voice, but I can still speak thanks to my voice synthesizer. How do we transcend these limits? With our minds and our machines. I think global warming is a greater threat than terrorism. Climate change could kill millions. We should have a war on global warming rather than war on terror. We are here together and we need to live together with tolerance and respect. We must become global citizens. I have been enormously privileged through my work to be able to contribute to our understanding of the universe, but it would be an empty universe indeed if it were not for the people I love and who love me. We are all time travelers, journeying together into the future, but let us work together and make that future a place we want to visit. Be brave, be determined, overcome the odds. It can be done. Are these words not full of positivity? We are really thankful to Stephen Hawking for his contribution and especially he having this motor neuron disease whole life of his has inspired and will keep inspiring so many people in the globe, all around the globe. He also used to say, however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. I hope you liked my video and really you must have also got inspired. So let us also prove ourselves. Let us just do something that the others have not done. something unique. Make a place for yourself in the globe. Let people know about you. We'll meet next Wednesday with a new personality and his words of wisdom. Till then, goodbye, take care. Please, please, please press the subscribe button and the bell icon if you are a newcomer, and share, like, comment on my videos. See you. Take care. Goodbye.